Okay, so tell me your pathway, the way that you got to Hardin-Simmons. What were the steps in your career?
Well, I started with a bachelor's degree in special education at Angelo State, and then followed by a master's at Abilene Christian University, my principal and superintendent certification. And I did 21 years in public education. And back in the fall of 2000, I was attending a Bible study called The Courageous, or The Courage, I believe, by Jen Rothschild. She's blind and very encouraging. And I prayed a lot and shared with a friend that for some reason Hardin-Simmons kept surfacing for me. And so I enrolled in the doctoral program, and I really thought that was the limit, that was what I was supposed to be doing. But through my first semester as a doc student, I don't know, there was just more. And you had a position available, and it happened to be teaching special education in the Irvin School of Education, and that's been my gift for 21 years. So I pursued that position, and I was very excited when Dr. Tucker called and offered me that job. So I'm here both as a student and a faculty member, and I'm just blessed that God has put that on my path.
Getting a doctorate's not easy.
It has not been, but I'm going to finish it.
A lot of reading, a lot of writing. That's good. You got the determination.
Going to finish it.
What was it about teaching, or specifically GT programs? What is it that it excites you about?
It excites me when students realize that they can do something, whether it's because they're advanced in one area and they're trying something new, or they've had the struggles and they're finally getting it. So, all of our students just need to be taught where they're at. That's the basics of education. And when they come back and they say, hey, Miss Prentice, I understood that, or I got that, or I was able to apply something we talked about in class, that's just incredible.
What is it about Hardin-Simmons students that you love?
I'm loving the personal relationships with them. I went to a state school, my undergrad, and I was very fortunate to have a professor that really poured into me. And I have tried to do that here, and I feel that our students appreciate that. They come by the office, they see you out at dinner, they stop and say hello. They're just very personable, and you get to build that professional relationship with them to help them grow.
I hear you have 3 children,
Yes.
but you also have a farmhouse, an animal house.
We do.
Tell me about all the animals.
We don't have a lot of land. We live in town, and yet we have a hamster and a fish and 3 dogs. We've had multiple dogs. We have a cow who has to live at someone else's house because we don't have enough land. We have some chickens. We've had a lamb. We've had hermit crabs. I'm just a sucker for animals. So when my kids bring something home, Mom says yes.
Snakes?
No.
Okay.
Well, wild ones occasionally in the shed, but
they don't get to stick around very long.
No, sir.
What is it about animals that you love, or that your kids love?
I love the responsibility that it teaches them, even though I tend to take care of them most of the time. It just brings some joy to the family. We have things we get to do together and raise and learn the cycle of life all at one time. So.
Sometimes that's hard. Sometimes it'll make you cry.
It will, but it's good for them.
Did you, as a child, ever have a favorite pet animal?
I had a dog named Puddles that we got in Portugal. I grew up military, and Puddles was thrown outside of a truck window when I was 5 and landed in a puddle on our porch during a storm, and I convinced my parents to let me keep her. She was hit by a car, and she needed extensive surgery, and my dad paid for it. So if he's watching this video, Dad, I'm forever grateful for Puddles. And she lived 16 years and went from Portugal to North Carolina to England to Texas to Florida.
World traveling dogs.
She's amazing.
Oh my gosh.
She was my best friend for a long time. So I want my kids to have that.
Have that same experience.
Yes,
Well, good. Thanks for coming
absolutely.
in.